So another crazy win. Not easy, ugly, whatever you want to call it, but
yeah, Lawrence Holmes described it as a drunk game. Would you agree? That's how you?
Yeah, I felt like I was drunk even though I didn't drink.
Yeah,
in that game. No, like I said, I'm happy we won, but I do want to break a few things down in the game. So for one, I want to go back to like what we talked about last week, which were the keys to victory. So I know we talked about scoring at least 30, and obviously the funny thing is, even though the Bengals scored 42, if you think about it, what is it? The first touchdown was a kickoff return for a touchdown. Mm-hmm. So technically that wasn't against the defense. And then we also gave up that onside kick. They scored those two kind of fluky touchdowns at the end. Mm-hmm. But if you take those away, 30 points would have been enough. But yeah, that's why I said minimum at least 30. And obviously the offense, this game was awesome because like every time that the defense gave up points, I felt like the offense came back and like answered. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so like, and even though Caleb wasn't perfect, and I think you probably remember that one play where he could have dumped it down to the check down, but he didn't, and he kind of gets flustered and he gets sacked, and we were like, what the fuck, you know? Like, I feel like we had a couple of those, but I also thought that he did better because there was a couple plays where the same thing happened, and he finally just like ran. You know what I mean? Like he trusted it. If nothing was there, he did, instead of kind of just continue to try to make something happen in the pocket, he actually just ran. Mm-hmm. So like he had 53 rushing yards on 5 carries. So
yeah, I remember yelling that a couple of times. Like, why doesn't he just run right there?
Yeah, exactly. So like I think those are the things that we've been preaching that are work in progress that he's going to get better at. And I think that like it was nice to see him actually pull out and run with it a couple more times this time. Mm-hmm. A couple things that I just want to get off my chest too with the offense. A lot of people are, like talking about, Odunze didn't have a catch, and now the media is making up bullshit that his dad's upset and all this, and it's just like there's these dumb things that like don't matter. Like at the end of the day, you're trying to win a game, and if you think about it, the first few games, Caleb was throwing it to almost Rome exclusively. Like Rome was getting everything right. Defenses are obviously going to try to build a game plan around taking him away from the game. And in the first couple games, like the Saints, Caleb was trying to force things to him sometimes, and it led to an interception. And even against the Ravens, he tried to force that one in from the end zone and got intercepted. So if anything, look at it in maybe not that Odunze had technically a bad game. He had 3 targets. He may have even had a drop this game. I'm not 100% sure. But at the end of the day, like as long as Caleb's seeing, hey, they're taking Rome away, and it's allowing other guys like Loveland to get involved and go off, then like as Bears fans, we should be happy, like regardless of who catches the ball.
Dude, I'm sure Rome is happy.
No, right.
Even though he didn't.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the only people who aren't happy is people who have him on fantasy, but but I don't even own him in any team, so I'm not even worrying about that. But no, like getting back to it, like I said, let's just be happy we won the game. And again, just some things that I think just get blown out of proportion. I thought Caleb played. I mean, I'd probably grade him like a B. I thought he was pretty much good all around. A couple of things of his bad habits came out from time to time, but otherwise I thought he did good. And obviously the most important key that we had to the win was running the football. Remember how I said Breece Hall, the Jets, ran the ball down their throats, time of possession, kept the ball, and I thought we did that amazing, especially in the first half. In the second half, I feel like even though Monangai did run it well, they kind of didn't run it as much. Part of it was once we did once we gave up that one touchdown, it was kind of a fluky game, don't you think? Like we had that pick 6, if that counts, like the game's pretty much over, and then all of a sudden, like they call him, down by contact because, whatever, he's touched his jersey. But I don't know, like maybe the listeners can kind of chime in. I think that's a kind of stupid rule because if you watch the play, I feel like when Chase Brown touched his jersey, he hadn't even come down with the catch yet. Mm-hmm. So like, I understand if like he caught it and then Chase Brown touched him and he fell, then he's down. But if he was still not catching it and Chase Brown touches him and he falls, but then he catches it, to me, as long as once he catches it, no one's touched him. Like, why can't he get up and run? Like, I don't know. I just thought that was kind of stupid. But
yeah, I was pretty upset about that too when that happened.
Yeah, because think about it. That play not happening, they come down, they score the touchdown right after that, and then they get the onside, and then they score another touchdown. Like, it was kind of fluky. So that's what, like, I feel like a lot of people are shitting on the Bears defense a lot the last few days, and I think it's a little incorrect because, again, A, we're out a bunch of people in the secondary. B, it was Flacco who was in there, who's playing good. Obviously, he balled out again. C, they have weapons there. Higgins, Jamar Chase. So they have weapons. So I thought the Bears defense did pretty good. We had that one play where Austin Booker, who we talked about, got pressure, hit him. He fumbled the ball, and Dexter recovered it. So that was big. So, yeah, I thought the defense did a couple things that was nice. Obviously, they weren't great. But then again, when you have that unfortunate call, I mean, again, the special teams was horrendous. You allow a long touchdown. Their field possession, I think the Bengals' average field possession was around the 40. So I think those are things that make the Bears' defense look sometimes worse than they actually are. And obviously the injuries are as well. But, yeah, otherwise I thought the defense was good. I thought the offense was amazing, obviously. And then trying to think of what else I wanted to cover from the game. Yeah, I mean, Edmonds, we've been talking about him a bunch this season and how good he's played. He had the interception, 9 tackles to lead the team. I thought he was awesome. And then how about C.J. Gardner-Johnson? We just got him, and he made a big impact play, got a sack, I think, early in the game, which was a big play. So, yeah, and then I think Sweat also had a sack and a play on defense. So, yeah, like I said, I thought the defense was pretty good, and up until that fourth quarter, we hadn't given up that many points, and then a little bit of bad luck, and it kind of swung their way, and they were able to get a couple more touchdowns. But, yeah, all in all, I'm pretty happy with the win. I don't have much complaint. Only things that kind of worry me after the game is Cairo Santos didn't look that good, and we've talked about, like, should we keep Moody? So I don't know, like, if Moody's even in the roster at all anymore, if we cut him completely, but that might be something we could revisit at some point. Obviously it was hurt. It was lost Dio to a season-ending Achilles injury, so that's not good, just to add to all the injury concerns that we already have. So that kind of sucked. But no, I mean, I'm trying to stay in the positive route. I think Monangai, it was great to see the Bears stay committed to the run and see him just – it was like his coming out party. And, when Swift does come back, I'm very interested to see how they're going to now use these two. I'm thinking what Ben Johnson's trying to come up with here is like a poor man's Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery kind of thing, where Swift fills the Gibbs role, and I think Monangai fills the Montgomery role. I think that's what they're kind of going to go for there.
Do you think maybe – because people are saying – maybe he rests another week?
No, I mean, I'm okay with that too. I mean, we're playing the Giants as well. So, and Monangai's already proven he could take I'm gonna pause right here. I was almost gonna say something that was not gonna sound right. That he could take a heavy workload. There you go.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that came out better than what I was gonna say. But no, he's proven that he can take 20 to 30 carries and he can keep going. So. And actually, even the Britton Brown or the rookie guy that played, he didn't look bad either when he got in there. So, Again, obviously it was against the Bengals defense, but the Giants defense has a good pass rush, but isn't amazing either. Like, we should be able to score on them this Sunday as well. And then obviously we basically, because of the way the game kind of turned out, another key that we had was stopping the run. And they pretty much abandoned the run in the second half. Chase Brown had 11 carries for 37 yards. But, yeah, besides that, their whole team had 46 rushing yards. So, yeah, I mean, if you look at it, the Bears outplayed them. I mean, we had way more yards. We had 283 rushing yards, 293 passing yards as a team. They had the 449 in passing and then just 46 in rushing. I think the defense, like I said, we needed to get a turnover. I think we got one or two of those. I think one. Special teams, like I said, did not look good. Caleb looked pretty good overall. But, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I got in this game. I think most of it I left being pretty positive about it. I don't really have any gripes or negativity. It does kind of lead me, though, to the next topic, which is today's hot topic. Is it was
hot topic. Is that you remember you shopping there?
Oh yeah, man, I got all my band shirts. No, but no, it leads me to our next point. It was the trade deadline today, So obviously that was a big topic of conversation since Sunday. Like, should the Bears go out and make a splashy move? Obviously we lost another guy in the defensive line. So obviously a big topic was Bears going out and making a big splashy trade. So here's my take. And again, very hot take on my end, and I'm honestly just a little aggravated by some of the Bears fans. Like, I don't know if they don't understand how salary cap works. I don't know if they don't understand that, you know, the team needs to be in a place where you can really go out and make a move where you literally are taking any kind of salary cap flexibility away. You're literally mortgaging your future and trading away future first-round draft picks. If you're going to do that, you have to be certain that your team's already competing for a Super Bowl and that move is going to put you over the top. And I don't think the Bears are a Myles Garrett, any of these big name
Crosby.
Even Trey Hendrickson. There's a reason why he's still in Cincinnati after the deadline. They want a first-round pick. And honestly, that could end up being a rental. No, and I'm sorry, I don't want the Bears trading a first-round pick for a defensive end that's a rental.
Yep.
That is already in his 30s, and it's not going to really help us put us over the top. Again, obviously, we drafted this this guy Joe Tyron Shoyinka. And look, we barely gave up anything. We swapped a 7th-round pick for a 6th-round pick to get him. Look, it's a depth piece. I get it. It doesn't necessarily move the needle on the team for this season, but again, it fills the depth void for now. We didn't mortgage the future. It's not going to cost us anything salary wise. And then again, don't bash me or anything else. I did a little research on it. I totally had forgotten. So this guy was a former first-round pick by Tampa Bay.
Yep.
In 2021. And, of course, he had a 2-sack game against the Bears back in 2023. I dug that up as well. But, again, he's a young guy. He has talent. He fell out of favor with Cleveland. They obviously have Myles Garrett and some other options there in the defensive line that are better than he is. But, obviously, no, he's coming here to a team that has a bunch of injuries and needs him. So he's obviously going to get playing time. So before everyone starts screaming and punching the air and getting all mad, let's let it play out. Let's see if he can add, at the very least, some depth to the defensive line, and let's just see what happens.
Can you recall the punching in the air people? What are they saying? What was their suggestions?
No, I mean, like I said, I so many people asking for trading for Max Crosby, trading for Myles Garrett. And, those are the type of trades that take 2 first-rounders, 3 first-rounders, 2 first-rounders and players, salary cap flexibility. The Bears have none of that. And then couple with that, if you're going to do that and you have the flexibility and you have the proper amount of picks and all that, you have to have a team that's, okay, if we add this guy, are we now a Super Bowl contender? I don't think they are. I think the Bears have other needs that they need to address in free agency and in the draft next year. I would much rather see them do what they did today, even if it doesn't make everyone happy. Of course, it would have been great to get a guy like Bradley Chubb if he would have been available for like a 3rd or 4th rounder. That's fine. But to mortgage your future and not really get what you want anyway, I don't think it makes any sense.
I actually agree.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Maybe they take a flyer on somebody else that's a free agent out there. I don't know. I know there was a guy, Zadarius Smith, that was still out there, but he retired. He said he was done. So obviously he's out of the question. But let's just see what happens. I mean, like I said, we're still riding high on this win. We have a winnable game this Sunday as well against the Giants. Let's just take care of business. And obviously everyone share your thoughts. If you really think there was a trade out there to be had that I didn't mention that wouldn't have cost us a bunch, and you can really tell us why, please, by all means, share your thoughts, because again, at the end of the day, I don't see it.
All right. Well, you want to try the next game, or what do you think of the next game?
All right. So yeah, next Sunday we got the. So this Sunday, we got the Giants at Soldier Field at noon. I actually will be able to watch it here with you guys, and again be a little bit easier to to talk about it next week at the pod, because obviously, like I've mentioned to you, when I go to the games, it's a little bit different of a experience when you're trying to like really watch the game and focus. But obviously, I'm not going to be attending, so I'll definitely be able to watch. But I think, again, it's a game that the Bears should win. The line's opening up at 3.5 points. Again, that's a little scary because, again, like we've always talked about here, that's just saying that if they were playing in like London in a neutral field, the Bears would be favored by 0.5 point. So they really don't view us that much better than the Giants. So let's dive into it. So the Giants, obviously, they lost Malik Neighbors for the season early. They lost Cam Scatteraboo to an injury 2 weeks ago. So they're essentially running out a rookie quarterback in Jackson Dart, who I think is very talented, but he's still a rookie. We should be able to rattle him if we can get to him and apply some pressure. Their run game is almost non-existent without Scatteraboo. Tyrone Tracy took over last week. He didn't look very good or very efficient. Not a very good between the tackles runner. Then they have Devin Singletary, who's been a journeyman in the league for a long time. Never really, he's okay. He's nothing more than an okay running back. So I'm not afraid of the running game. And then their top receiver is Wan'Dale Robinson. So I think the keys to this game is really going to be offensively. Trying to take some of the positive things that you did offensively against Cincinnati and doing it against the Giants. So two things. One thing that I think could help us keep the momentum going is being at home. The Bears usually play better at home, and so I hope that helps. But then at the same time, I think the one thing that's a negative is your opponent. Again, the Giants aren't like an amazing defense, but they do have a good defensive line. They have a good pass rush, which the Cincinnati Bengals did not. So we have to make sure that we protect the ball, don't turn it over, make sure that we keep Monangai running it and running it efficiently. And I think if we do those things, I'm not necessarily afraid that the Giants' offense is going to score a bunch of points on us. So as long as we're able to run the ball, put some points on the board, and avoid turning it over, I think we should be able to win this game.
I mean, yeah, Jackson Dart's not doing that bad.
No, look, for a rookie, Dart right now is completing 62% of his passes, and that's pretty much like Caleb level. So for a young quarterback, it's not bad. And he's got 10 touchdowns to 3 interceptions, and his rating is 93.9. But I don't know. I've been able to watch some Giants games just through like Red Zone or whatnot, and what I've noticed is just like many young quarterbacks, you got to rattle them, right? So the teams that have been able to get to him and make him flush out of the pocket or hit him, he's been rattled. But obviously the teams that have not provided pressure, he's been able to either run with the ball or get it downfield to his guys. So yeah, it's gonna be key again for the defense to, create a turnover or two, give us a short field. I think that would always be helpful. But at the very least, just not give up the big play, stop the run, and then be able to run it ourselves. And then I think the rest will take care of itself. I don't think we need Caleb to go out and throw for 300 yards like he did last week. This game should not be like that. This game should be a game where Caleb can hopefully manage it, hit a couple big plays early, and then we should be able to hopefully run the ball and possess the ball and win.
So, a random question. Roman Marvin Harrison Jr. were drafted in the same year. What do you like? What do you think in terms of like comparison between them?
Yeah, see, and that. I think that's another thing that I think this is the problem with social media is that I feel like everybody just what's the word I'm looking for? They just they overreact.
Yeah.
They overreact. Like, and again, I'm not saying that I'm not somebody who's overreacted on certain things, but like, it's just week to week. It's like 1 week Caleb is terrible. 1 week Caleb's amazing. And then 1 week, 3 weeks ago, Dunze was almost like leading all receiving categories. And you had people comparing his first 3 games to like Jerry Rice's first 3 games. And then now he had 0 receptions in a game. And now we're like, oh, is he a bust? Like let's just relax. Like, I think he's going to be fine. Like, if you think about it, Cincinnati obviously game planned try to get Caleb to try to force the ball to Rome, which he didn't do, which I think is fantastic, and we won the game, and we put up numbers. Who gives a shit who catches it, whether it's Rome or somebody else? I think what's going to end up happening, though, is, again, now you had Loveland have a huge game. Now teams are going to try to go, okay, well, this guy's a problem. Let's see what we can do to kind of cover him. You know, DJ Moore had a good game. He had a touchdown. He threw one. He caught one. Or no, sorry, he threw and he ran for one. But DJ Moore is a problem. So now defense are going to say, okay, DJ Moore is becoming more involved. Colson Loveland's becoming more involved. So now maybe Rome Odunze now gets some more single coverage. Maybe now he can hit him downfield. So, yeah, for everyone who's trying to compare, like, let's just relax and calm down. Like, same thing with Marvin Harrison. I'm sure a lot of people and Arizona fans were saying the same thing. Like, oh, what's going on with Marvin Harrison? I think it had the same thing with them. It has a lot to do with the rest of their team. James Conner got hurt. Trey Benson got hurt. Kyler Murray got hurt. You're down to your backup. Now, obviously, it took, playing the Cowboys to Marvin Harrison had his career night. But again, like, I think Marvin Harrison's still good. I think Rome Odunze is still good. And I think sometimes you just have to wait like a good amount of time before you can really start judging how good the players are. That's the same thing I talk about with Caleb Williams. It's like, look, it's only his second year. It's only his first year with Ben Johnson. It's only, 8 games in. Like, we got to be a little more patient. Now, we can definitely be critical game to game, but like trying to make assumptions on their whole career after a year and a half or a half a year with a new coordinator is just asinine.
I think it is a little fun to ask, though, whether, like if you could redraft, right, who you would have picked.
Yeah. I mean, those things are always fun to do, but at the same time, I feel like they're not necessarily like
What's that?
Yeah, they're not necessarily 100% like important. I mean, it's fun to do, but I think those are things that are more fun to do 3-5 years into someone's career more than like this early. You know what I'm saying? Because think about it, like last year, Jaden Daniels would, like, by far, everyone would have him as the number one quarterback in the draft class. Now with the injuries, now you're starting to hear people say Drake May. Trying to see people you even have some people say he hasn't had as good of a career now, but you're asking some people, who would you take? You have some people even saying Caleb or Bo Nix. So, like, let's just, it's fun to do it, but at the same time, like, let's just wait till a couple seasons at the end, and then we can really have these conversations.
Yeah, people are having fun with the whole thing about how, like, they should have taken Daniels out or whatever because they were getting blown out. You're reading into that?
See, but I think those are all like, obviously the whole Monday morning quarterback thing, or like woulda, coulda, shoulda. Like the Bears shouldn't have, drafted this guy, or the Bears should have drafted, like, it's easy to say that after. But no, I mean, I could see that point. They were down 38-7. It was the fourth quarter, and he was just coming back from an injury. But, like, you can't predict that. You can't predict it. And, like, okay, and who's to say that if he doesn't get hurt there, and let's say they score a touchdown, right? Who's to say that Seattle now goes back down the field, scores another touchdown, it's 45-14, and who's to say that Dan Quinn wouldn't have pulled him there?
Yeah.
So, like, it doesn't mean that he was going to play him the whole game. It doesn't mean that there was 2 minutes left in the game and he was still in there. It was the beginning of the fourth quarter. So I see people's points, but at the same time, I'm not going to – this isn't Derrick Rose situation where it was a blowout and he was in a playoff game with a minute left. Like, I think those are a little bit different.
Yeah, I forgot who what I was watching, but someone made a really good point about how, like, players don't think that way. That, like, hey man, like, coach, you gotta sit. You should probably sit me. Or, like, do they want to play?
Yeah, players always want to play, and I understand that sometimes a coach. That's why coaches do sometimes pull the players out. But, like, look at last year. There was a game, Tampa Bay, I think, and I think it was Tampa Bay and somebody, and literally Godwin was on the field at the end of the game, and I don't even know if they even had a chance to win it. But Godwin was in, and he ended up. Tearing his ACL or something on a meaningless play at the end of the game. So, like, you could be like, oh, what was he doing on the field? Or, like, why do you, like, I mean, freak things happen. Like, obviously, if Dan Quinn would have known that he could have gotten hurt, like, would have been a different situation. But I still do see the point of that the game was already out of hand. But yeah. So my prediction for this week, I do. And thankfully, all of our followers will actually be happy with me now. I do predict another victory this week. Again, I'm not by any means saying that this is a guaranteed win, because at the end of the day, the Giants have a very good pass rush, and they've been staying in games. So, and again, the line is only 3.5 points, so they're obviously expecting a close game. So, for me, the keys to the game is keep Monangai running. Same basic game plan. 25 to 30 carries from Monangai, I think is definitely what I would do. I think also stopping the run. Last week, the Giants were not able to run the ball at all against San Francisco. So I would love to see the Bears be able to bottle up Tracy and Singletary. And then besides that, I think, if we can stop them from running the ball and we get a little bit of pressure on the rookie, Dart, I think that defensively we'll be fine. And then on offense, I think, we just got to run the ball to mitigate the pass rush that they have. And then, I would also, Theo Benedict, again, last week, did a very good job run blocking. I did see some tape of him run blocking, looked great. But his pass blocking has been pretty bad the last few weeks. So I'm really, really hoping here that the Bears, if Komet is back, do you know if Komet's back or if he's on the injury report still? Can you look that up?
Yeah.
Because I think a big key is going to be having Komet there to chip, to help him with, whether it's Thibodeau or Abdul Carter, whoever's going to be rushing against Theo Benedict, is having someone there to chip. And obviously, Komet's a very, very good blocker and someone that we need. So he left again with an injury. Oh, no, he left with a concussion. Oh, no, that's not good.
So it's 2 years ago. 10 years ago.
No, but he left the Bengals game with a concussion. I mean, if Cole Kmet is not able to play, then, again, either way, I would like to see the Bears still give some help out to Benedict's side. And, I mean, I think if we're able to run the ball, it will definitely give Caleb the chance to play action or have a little bit more time in the pocket. But if we're not able to run and they're blitzing us, it's going to be a little scary. So, again, I'm very confident, though, our defense will step up against New York. There is a rookie at quarterback, so hopefully we'll be able to get a turnover or two. And then besides that, I think that, again, on offense, let's keep Monangai rolling. Let's keep it, again, simple for Caleb, where he can get the ball out of his hands quickly, make quick decisions. And then obviously, hopefully, Caleb on the plays where things break down will do a little bit better even than last week, where I thought he improved. But again, making just quick decisions, either dump it out to the check down or run if you have an opportunity to run. What you don't want to do is keep running around in circles in the pocket and then eventually get sacked. So, again, if the Bears keep the game plan simple for Caleb, don't complicate it. If we're able to run the football, and then if we're able to, stop the Giants from running and get a little pressure, I think that it should be a pretty solid win. I'm going to predict on this one. I'm predicting the Bears to win 23-16.
Okay.
So a full touchdown win.
Okay. You think they're going to cover?
Yeah.
Asking for a friend.
Yeah. 3.5. I think we're going to cover 23-16 Bears.
Yeah, so they're over 48.5.
Yeah, so I'm betting the under this one.
Yeah, so
don't take my advice, people. But yeah, and in my case, I'd bet the under at 23-16.
Yeah, if you punch in discount code Angry Bear on ESPN Bet.
Not quite there yet, folks. Hopefully soon. Yeah, last week was a good week to be a Bears fan. Pulling off that win was exciting, and then again, watching the Packers look bad and lose against the Panthers. The Lions, did not look very good. Vikings pull that win off. So, yeah, I mean, it definitely opened the idea of the Bears definitely competing for the division. I still don't think that we're quite at the level of Green Bay and Detroit overall as a team, but we're getting there, improving. And I also think that not only do I not think Jordan Love is that guy, I mean, he is he is very talented and he does show flashes, but I think that the Packers are a good enough defense and a good enough run game where if Jordan Love just doesn't turn it over and just plays a decent, clean game, they should win a lot of games. And unfortunately, I was watching that. He threw a couple up for grabs, a bad pick. So, yeah, I'm still not sold completely on Jordan Love, which is why I don't think the Packers are like a Super Bowl contender per se. Even though, if they made it, I wouldn't be surprised if Love cleans up his turnovers. The Detroit loss was a little strange, but the Vikings did, pressure Goff a lot. I think they sacked him like 5 times. McCarthy, I still think the jury's out, but he did make a couple of nice throws and used his legs. But yeah, our division's right now is pretty open. And so let's see, it's crazy. We still got one more against the Vikings in Minnesota. We got the Lions at home. We lost week 2 against them, but we had them at home. And then we got both Packers games. So, yeah, a lot of division games left. Packers, I think, at Green Bay, December 7th on a Sunday. And then at home against the Packers on a Saturday, December 20th. So
coming in December, what do you think our record's going to be?
Man, again, I
realistically speaking.
Okay, so, and again, I'm not going to make predictions game to game because I want to leave that to next week and the following weeks. So obviously, I already picked the Bears to beat New York. If I had to say, if I look at the rest of November, I believe that we can go 3-1, but I'm going to be on the safe side and say that we'll lose either the Vikings or the Steelers game, and I'm going to say we'll go 2-2. So if we go 2-2, worst case scenario, hopefully, if we go 2-2, that means that we'd be going into that Packers game at Lambeau at 7-5, which I'd prefer to be 8-4, 9-3. But hey, I wouldn't be mad.
Just for better context, we were recording this podcast. You had to leave to go to the Bulls game. You just came back, and what just happened?
Dude, honestly, like, I've had the season tickets now for 4 years, 4th year. I mean, this was probably by far the coolest Bulls game I've been to. Like, fucking amazing, man.
Yeah, I was watching it here.
Yeah, I mean, so my brother and I get there, like, just in time for, like, the, for them to announce the players and whatnot. And, like, literally, dude, like, in the first quarter, yeah, dude, like, Philly, look at that. They scored 45 against us. So, like, we weren't defending. We weren't rebounding. Like, it was really ugly. So, like, the first quarter looked bad. The second quarter was bad. So, we were down, 75-56? So, we were down by 20 pretty much at the half. And then the third quarter, like, it was kind of the same energy in the beginning. And then we ended with, like, a little bit of a run. And then, and then Christian and I were like, all right, so what do we do? Like, I was like, okay, well, let's see how the fourth quarter, like, middle of it goes. And if we start getting blown out again, we'll just take off early. And then, and then they started just coming back, chipping away. And then they cut it down to, like, 6, 7. And to be honest with you, man, like, I don't know if you were paying attention, but, like, Maxey was killing us, like, the entire game. And then for some weird reason in the fourth quarter, I don't know if you noticed, but Embiid just, like, completely sucked. I don't know if you were watching. Like, he was just, like, he looked so slow and unathletic. He's trying to take these jump shots. He's missing everything, like, short. He turned the ball over a couple times. Like,
they were saying, like, that he might have been hurt.
Oh, yeah, he's still, like, trying to come back from injury. But, dude, he looked like he was, like, 60 years old out there. He couldn't move at all. Like, it was bad. But, dude, props to Josh Giddey, man. He's balling. And honestly, like, I'll take back what I said. I know last week I was like, yeah, we're 3-0, and this looks like a fluke. I don't know. The team, like, looks pretty good. Obviously, they don't really defend very well. But, man, offensively, they play good. Giddey looks awesome. He's getting everyone involved. It's going to be interesting to see how Kobe White fits when he comes back in. But, man, the rest of the team today looked awesome. Like, that was just a great game. Great game to be at. Like, obviously, if you really think that this is going to be, like, a top seed in the East kind of thing, I don't think so. I don't think it's going to last. But they're improved. And I think that if they're going to shoot for something, I think I said this at the last podcast, what they should be shooting for is just to make it in the top 6. You know, not to fall again in the play-in, because, like, every year they've just been in the play-in and the play-in and the play-in. So I'm really hoping that this year especially when Kobe gets back. It'll be interesting to see, the dynamic or how the team goes. But I think, that's the key. Let's try to make it to actually like the 6th seed or higher, and instead of having to wait for the play-in and try to make some noise. But I don't know. I think they're building something good, and hopefully in the next couple of years, they can add to it and hopefully build a contender. But the way Giddey's looking now, I mean, that contract is looking pretty good that we gave him, $20 million a year. Buzelis is going to keep growing. I mean, Jalen Smith did a couple nice things on the floor today too. Looks like he had 14 points. But, I mean, he looked pretty solid from what I was looking at too. Patrick Williams, again, he defends. I'll give him that. And at the very least, he's kind of carved out a defensive stopper role. But offensively, he still looks as lost as always.
What are the holes you think?
I think the Bulls' holes is still having another defensive. I think another defensive wing player would definitely help them. I think another big man would definitely help, a guy who can actually defend and grab boards a little bit better. I think we gave up too many second chance points. And I think that's why Giddey gets so many rebounds, because he literally might be the best rebounder right now. Vooch has played very good offensively, and he had 10 rebounds today. But, again, he gave up a lot of offensive boards, so that's not a good thing. Buzelis, again, was a little on and off today. I think he'll get better. Okoro had a very strong game, 16 points, 5 assists. But, it was a super fun game to be at. And then now I'm looking forward to actually going – I think I'm going to probably still sell the Derrick Rose retirement game, just because they're going to sell for a ton. Mm-hmm. But I think I got 3 more games left. Other than that, I'll definitely be going to those, because it's a really fun environment right now watching them play.
So I want to do this thing.
Okay.
Some trivia for you.
Okay.
And I tried to find some good ones, and there's a lot of bad ones. Like a lot of bad ones. So there's just one website. All right. Okay. So we're gonna go with NBA legend nicknames.
All right. I'll try that out. Yeah, I like it. How about if I could guess it without you giving me the multiple choice?
You get 2 points, right?
Yeah. And if I have to use that, if I have to use the multiple choice, I get 1.
Deal. Nickname: Big Game James.
Okay. So, it's funny. I actually this one I was actually going to ask you to give me the multiple choice anyway. Mm-hmm. But I had a feeling it was B, and I'm going to go with B. I think it's James Worthy. I don't think it's LeBron James, and definitely not James Wiseman. I think it's James Worthy.
Okay, correct.
Okay, so that was good. All right, I got
James.
Wait, don't multiple choice. That's LeBron James.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Correct.
Okay.
Dr. J.
Dr. J is Julius Erving.
Correct. Hoya Destroyer.
Whoa.
It's a weird one.
No, Hoya Destroyer means that it was a guy that destroyed the Georgetown Hoyas. But I would have to look at the multiple choice on this one,
okay,
if I have to be honest with you. Okay. So, all right, let me think of it this way. So Dikembe went to Georgetown. Dwight Howard did not. Dwight Howard didn't go to college at all, so I know it's not him. Patrick Ewing also went to Georgetown. Robert Parrish did not. So I guess my question is it Robert Parrish because he destroyed Hoyas, or is it one of the Hoyas that actually played? Wow. Hoya Destroyer. Wow. I'm going to just guess. I'm going to guess Dikembe on this one. Nope. Patrick Ewing. All right. I'll take an L on that. So
okay.
5.
So 5. Okay, cool.
The Brody.
Okay.
Oh, I know the Brody. That's Russell Westbrook.
Cool.
All right, so I'll move to 7. The Tower of Power. The Tower of Power. Give me the multiple on that. I think I'll know it once I see the names. Tower of Power. Man, this is tough because I know the David Robinson was called the Admiral. I know Hakeem the Dream. Mm-hmm. And here, go back up again. Will Chamberlain had a different nickname. Man, I'm literally just going to guess Kareem only because I didn't know these other 3 guys with a different nickname than that.
All right.
Oh, I got it.
Right.
All right. Yes. I get 1 on that.
1.
Okay.
Bill the Hill.
Bill the Hill? What the Man, they're going really old school on these nicknames. I gotta see the multiple choice. Oh shit! All right, I don't think it's Chauncey Billups. It's Bill the Hill. Never heard of that nickname for Bill Russell. I mean, maybe if it's Bill the Hillbilly, it's Bill Laimbeer. I'm gonna guess Bill Laimbeer. I don't really know. I never heard of that nickname. Bill Russell. I had no idea. All right, I'll take an L on that. I wasn't born back then either.
A tall baller from the G.
Tall baller. I'm gonna have to look at again. I've never heard of that nickname. All right, I'm gonna go with Dirk Nowitzki because he's from Germany. I'm assuming that G would stand for Germany.
Correct.
All right. Nice, take my point on that.
All right. Next one. Sweet Melon.
I don't even want to pretend to know where that came from, but I'm gonna have to look at the multiple. I've never heard of that nickname. Sweet Melon.
This is the one answer that I actually accidentally clicked and I saw the answer. So I mean,
Carmelo Anthony's definitely never heard him called Sweet Melon. I never heard Karl Malone called Sweet Melon. He was the mailman.
Yeah.
And I've never heard of Mel Daniels in my life, so I'm just gonna guess Moses Malone.
Okay.
Carmelo Anthony. Never heard Sweet Melon.
Yeah, I've never heard anybody call him that ever.
Yeah. Well, Clyde the Glide is Clyde Drexler, so that's easy. I'll take 2 on that.
Uncle Drew
is Kyrie Irving. Mm-hmm. Larry Legend's Larry Bird. Human highlight film is Dominique Wilkins.
Correct.
All right, so a little roll. Okay, Grand Tootin', I don't know, so I'll have to look at I'm going to guess Otis Thorpe. That's just a fucking guess. I have no idea. Shrimp, never heard of that nickname before. All right. Big Fundamental is Tim Duncan.
Slim Reaper.
Slim Reaper is KD, Kevin Durant. Rayman is Sean Kemp. I've never heard of Big Smokey, so I'm going to have to look at the list. Big Smokey? Man, these nicknames, man. Big Smokey. Okay. I never heard John Wall called Big Smokey or Klay Thompson. So I'm trying to think between Bradley Beal and Nick Van Exel. Nick Van Exel went to Cincinnati. Unless he liked to smoke weed, and maybe that's why they call him Big Smokey. And then Bradley Beal went to Florida. The Florida Gators has nothing to do with Smokey. I'm just gonna go Nick Van Exel because I don't know. I've never heard of the Big Smokey before. Klay Thompson. What the fuck?
That's weird.
That's a cool ass nickname, Optimus Dime, and I wish I knew what it was. But let me see the multiple choice. So this means it has to be someone who is a passer. Okay, Kenny or DeMar DeRozan is not known for his passing, so I'm going to take him off the list. Same with John Wall. He was a good passer. I never heard anyone call him Optimus Dime. And then Jason Williams was White Chocolate. It's got to be between Kenny Smith and John Wall. Man, if it's Kenny Smith, I'm going to be pissed. But I'm going to say John Wall because it seems to be a lot of newer players.
All right. Nice.
I'll take the point.
Good guess.
And I know this one. This is Chris Anderson is the Birdman. Nice. All right. I thought I did pretty good.
Nice.
All right. So let's see what my score would be. 26. All right. I'll take it. I think I got the majority of them right.
Not bad.